Then you can bring the TikTok, Prabhus, if you like. Okay. What can be done? Since usually we have like 20 minutes before Prabhu comes, can I do one bhajan for Lord for Caitanya?
Prabhu is ready. He's just waiting for you to stop.
I didn't know, sorry. So when should I stop? Just tell me. There's no problem. 8:05, I should stop. Okay. All right. So until 10 past, yeah? I chant. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Om Vishnupad Param Saparivrajacharya Ashtarashata His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtarashata His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Namacharya Hari Das Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sri Gaura Bhaktavrina Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Yamuna Devi Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtanya Ki Jai. Rataraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Samavita Bhaktarinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premarande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Gauranga Gauranga. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
No TikTok?
The band.
Ah. Why? Uh-huh. Hare Krishna.
Maybe it's even in the computer that the outlet is. Okay, let's see now. I'll be back.
Check the comments, prabhu.
Yeah, just have to refresh. I can also check on the phone.
Yeah. Frozen. Michelle says it's frozen.
Is it now? Now it does it work? Can someone just confirm whether it works? Because it look, see, it's live.
Check the comments.
Yeah, I'm checking it now. So Srila Prabhupada says, okay. Yeah, it seems like it works.
So I don't think it was the wire.
I think it's in the computer. Basically, this computer should not be moved as much as possible.
Uh-huh.
So I can give you a phone. That's my
Yeah,
idea.
please.
Inside this input is messed up inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Michelle Williams, Hare Krishna, thank you for assisting us. Shamdai, Abhaya Mataji, Sharia Sitara, Bronwyn, Denny, Ganesha, Nirjala, and unfortunately I cannot see more than that. I know that Dennis is here also. Anybody else? We have slight technical difficulties. So we're trying to resolve it. Tony, Hare Krishna, Tony. Okay, so Caitanya Caritamrita today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna to Gabriela, Neil, and Yvonne also. We're reading from the Adi Lila, chapter 4, text 51. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of love for the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Text 51 and 52, those were the ones I just read, are from the Stavamala of Srila Rupa Goswami. Next, to accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. Hare Krishna, David and Ashu Rajput. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Prabhu, why did you set up the camera in such a way that my neck is the focus?
Now it's ready. I think it's working.
They separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Purport: this text is from the diary of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. Next, Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Purport by His Divine Grace. The true transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a
Yeah, it's still alive, but hold on.
Can I continue?
Yeah, let me just check it. Just this one.
One is enjoying in two. Sri Krishna is the potent factor, and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. Everything in the Absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavat devotee. The very name Radha suggests that she is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan, therefore, seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned souls of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationships with the Lord. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss in full. His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat, or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. The same potency, while displaying full knowledge, is called Chit or Sambit, which expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. Finally, the same potency, while playing as a pleasure-giving medium, is known as Hladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus the Lord manifests his internal potency in three transcendental divisions. Next. Now to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Ladini. That Ladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami has elaborately discussed the Ladini potency in his Priti Sandarbha. He says that the Vedas clearly state only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service, and as such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science of devotional service. What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept devotional service, and what is the nature of such service? The Vedic scriptures inform us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is self-sufficient, and that Maya, nescience, can never influence him at all. As such, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Such a potency cannot be anything of the material manifestation. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material composition like the impersonalist conception of the bliss of Brahman. Devotional service is reciprocation between two, and therefore it cannot be located simply within oneself. Therefore, the bliss of self-realization, Brahmananda, cannot be equated with devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three kinds of internal potency, namely the Ladini, or pleasure potency, Sandini, or existential potency, and Sambit, or cognitive potency. In the Vishnu Purana, the Lord is addressed as follows: O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Ladini, Sandini, and Sambit, exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes, which cause happiness, misery, and mixtures of the two, do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. Ladini is the personal manifestation of the blissfulness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he enjoys pleasure. Because the pleasure potency is perpetually present in the Supreme Lord, the theory of the impersonalist that the Lord appears in the material modes of goodness cannot be accepted. The impersonalist conclusion is against the Vedic version that the Lord possesses a transcendental pleasure potency. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is another epithet of the pleasure potency of the Lord. Therefore, devotional service reciprocated between the Lord and His devotee is an exhibition of the transcendental pleasure potency of the Lord. The potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that always enriches Him with transcendental bliss is not material, but the Shankarites have accepted it as such because they are ignorant of the identity of the Supreme Lord and His pleasure potency. Those ignorant persons cannot understand the distinction between impersonal spiritual bliss and the variegatedness of the spiritual pleasure potency. The Ladini potency gives the Lord all transcendental pleasure, and the Lord bestows such a potency upon His pure devotee. Om Agyandaninandasya Gyanajana Shalakam Chakshunanmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Krishna has different potencies. The impersonalists, they do not accept this because they think this will jeopardize the conception of oneness. Their conclusion is that everything is one, Brahman. Brahman Satyam Jagan Mithya. Any sort of variegatedness, any sort of variety, they think is the exhibition of Maya, illusion. So they do not accept that there are varieties in the absolute truth. Just like a father, he begets children. There's one father and he has 3 sons. And these 3 sons, they beget another 3 sons. So you can see that the variety is expanding. But if you trace it back, there's only one father. So they reason in the same way, that everything can be confined ultimately by one common denominator, the source of everything. And they conclude that there is no variety. And the expansion takes place only when there's some kind of a Maya. Shankaracharya even argues in his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra that Krishna becomes influenced by the mode of goodness. Prabhupada mentions this in the purport. So that is not the actual truth. The true transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. They cannot understand this because they try to understand with the limited material resources. By using logic, reason, you cannot understand transcendental reality. Because these logics and reason and evidence, they all work under the influence of the material energy. This spiritual potency can be divided into different subcategories. Prabhupada explains here, there is the Sambit, Sandini, Ladini. These are different divisions of that spiritual energy. And spiritual energy ultimately is Srimati Radharani. And that potency is then divided into these 3 subcategories. Sambit is the existential. Sat. Sambit. That expands, this potency expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. And the Sat portion expands the existence. Okay? And then there's Hladini potency, and this Hladini potency is in charge of giving Krishna transcendental bliss, transcendental pleasure. So, Prabhupada mentions Sandhini is existential potency, Samved is cognitive potency, and Hladini means the pleasure potency. Just like we have Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternity, eternal existence. Chit means consciousness, knowledge, cognition, and Ananda means bliss. So, very important. Krishna himself becomes attracted by devotional service. That devotional service, of course, can be divided into different levels of purity. Here we're speaking of Shuddha Bhakti, pure service, pure devotional service, pure devotion. Such devotion, pure devotional service, is actually the exhibition of this Hladini potency of the Lord. So that pure devotional service, it is not manufactured. You cannot manufacture. It is there already. And it exhibits its potency when we purify our contaminated idea about Krishna. There are different levels of contamination. There is a gross material contamination, and then there's a subtle contamination. These impersonalists, they say, ultimately God is no form, no potency, nothing. So that is also material contamination, in the sense that there are imposing a material misconception on the supreme transcendental reality. And the gross contamination means, just like this material body, material attachments, sense gratification attachment, and so on and so on. So, when one becomes a pure devotee, he becomes free from all these. A pure devotee is not even tempted to enjoy sense gratification. What to speak of not being tempted? He is developing the positive relationship with Krishna, the positive attachment, asakti. Because we can know about the negativity, that we can also conclude by logic. This is not a place where I'm supposed to stay. I don't enjoy death, old age, disease, birth. So that we can even deduct by our limited logic. But why am I here in this material world? Because of attachment. I am attached, and that is why I have to continuously suffer in this material existence. So attachment is the source of misery, and the attachment is the source of liberation also. That is what we're trying to do. We're trying to develop attachment to the holy name, to the spiritual master, to the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. Those of you who are coming regularly, and that is a very good sign. That means that you're developing attachment for the Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. In fact, there's a question raised by the personalities, the speakers of the Bhagavatam. There are many speakers of the Bhagavatam. So one of these personalities, he asked, now when Krishna departed to his abode, his transcendental abode, who will give us guidance? Who will give us shelter in this age of Kali? So they're being assured that this Bhagavatam is like a torchlight in the darkness of this contaminated age. And it is no different from Krishna. So one who is developing attachment for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, it is synonymous to creating his attachment to Krishna. And by positive attachment, the negative attachment will slowly dissolve. So it's very important, because when we practice devotional service, we might think that we're practicing devotional service. There might be some contaminated, misinterpreted devotional service. In the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Deva, he gives something like 80 different types of contaminated Mishra Bhakti types. Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Contaminated. Srila Prabhupada in the 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita also mentions in the purport that when the disease, I'm not sure if it's 9th chapter, but he says very clearly that when the infection of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga subside and one comes to the position of pure devotee. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, this must go. We're not attracted to the result. We're not attracted to accumulation of mundane knowledge, useless knowledge. We're not trying, Prabhupada says, we're not trying to be scholars. That's not the purpose of this Krishna consciousness movement, to become a scholar or to be a great debater. Actually, these things are an obstruction in our devotional service. Too much knowledge is not good. Prabhupada says one should not be over-intelligent. It becomes a burden. So when we come to this stage of pure devotion, the manifestation of that ecstatic love is the manifestation of this Hladini Shakti, Hladini potency of Krishna. That is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is supplying enjoyment to Krishna. Prabhupada says she is eternally increasing the pleasure of the Lord's. So she's not simply giving Krishna pleasure, but she is increasing it eternally. And Radharani is the internal potency of Krishna himself. In other words, Radharani is Krishna himself. But at the same time, there is a difference. So there must be variety in the absolute truth. So God must enjoy, and He cannot enjoy anything material, anything less than Him. So if He enjoys with Radharani, Radharani must be equal to Krishna in all respects. At the same time, He cannot enjoy unless Radharani is separate. Right? You cannot love yourself. So similarly, Krishna cannot love Himself by Himself. That is boring. So Radharani has her separate personality. And that creates dynamics in a relationship. The impersonalists, they want to make everything one, but their life becomes very dry. Nowadays also, you can see there's so much obsession with self-love. One should note this. People, they want to practice self-love. I love myself. You should love yourself. These are all impersonal ideas, nonsense ideas. You cannot love yourself. Love is between two persons. So similarly, there's love Radharani feels for Krishna. That means that they're separate, two separate persons. At the same time, as I said before, Krishna cannot enjoy anything less than himself, anything material. So Radharani is Krishna himself. The mundane mind cannot assimilate this. How is it possible? One and different simultaneously. Suppose I stay here giving class and suppose I go away. How is that one and the same? But in the spiritual world, this is possible. If you chant Hare Krishna in the spiritual world, if a pure devotee chants, then Krishna is present personally in the holy name also. So similarly, everything is non-different and different simultaneously from one another. That is why the acceptance of a bona fide spiritual master is essential. Because only the spiritual master, by submitting to the spiritual master, we can understand these intricacies. Prabhupada says, impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavat devotee. So we must approach a pure devotee. There are varieties of devotees. Kanishtharikari, Madhyamarikari, Uttamarikari. So when we want to accept a guru, he must be an Uttamarikari. Otherwise, how he can give you the knowledge? If he himself doesn't have the knowledge, how can he give you Krishna? Then where we get... Guru means you surrender fully. So if he is not perfect, where do you get the rest of the information? So Guru must be there. Guru must be perfect. Guru is guiding us. Of course, Krishna is within the heart as the super soul. So he's giving us some guidance. But there's also misinterpretation and misconception. So for that reason, we should always seek the association of the devotees and discuss controversial topics. We should not give up controversial discussions. Discussion should be encouraged, just like we have always questions and answer section. Unless it is a completely dumb question, we never discourage challenging questions. This is very rare. You go to a Catholic church or somewhere in mosque, you try to challenge the authority of the Quran or something, you'll get beaten up immediately. But here we encourage discussion. This is necessary. So we understand what actually devotional service is. Who bona fide spiritual master is. What does it mean, pure devotion? What does it mean to be a Mahabhagavat? See, Mahabhagavat, so elevated, such an elevated soul. It is not that you have Mahabhagavats everywhere growing like fruits on a tree, every corner. No, it's very rare. Manusyanam sahasresu kaschid yatadisidhaya yatadamapi siddhanam kaschid mamveti tatvatah. There are many people who are trying for perfection, but hardly one achieves perfection. Not out of all of these people who already siddhas, perfected beings, hardly one knows Krishna in truth. That is the spiritual master. This refers to the spiritual master because he must know Krishna in truth. Tadviri parinpatena pariprashnena sevaya uparikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. The word tattva refers to the truth. So one must know the truth about Krishna in detail. So unless one is a pure devotee, he should not pose as the spiritual master, because then he becomes a misleader and he confuses everyone. That should not be done. Our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, has written all these books. So the future aspirants in this Krishna consciousness movement, they can also take advantage of the method that he's giving, the process is giving, his diksha is a process, and achieve perfection of life. So there is no need of another spiritual master. The spiritual master comes when the process is lost. Sakalane hamata yoganashta parantapa. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna doesn't say that, oh, when the guru departs, then another guru must come. No, he says, Sekalanaya Mahata. Yoga Nashta Parantapa. When the science of one's relationship with Krishna is lost, there arises the need to re-establish disciplic succession. So what we should care is not whether the guru is living or whether he's dead or living. Guru actually never dies. That is another misconception. We should be concerned whether he is a Mahabhagavat. That is what we should seek. Whether he knows the science of Krishna. That is the qualification. Do you know the science? No, I only know partially. So then, how can you be Guru? Guru must be perfect. In the Bhagavad Gita, in this verse where Arjuna says that no one can clarify this dilemma for me. He surrenders to Krishna as a disciple. So then Prabhupada, he says, one who accepted the bona fide spiritual master will know everything. He will know everything because he knows Krishna. So the guru, you think that guru, he doesn't know everything? He knows everything. Trikalagya. Yesterday we were discussing how great personalities, they can read past, present and future. Only such a person can write Shastra. Srila Prabhupada's books are Shastra. Why? Because he's Trikalagya again. He knows past, present and future. Otherwise, why Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna? He says, I accept whatever you say in total. Everything. I'm not skeptical anymore. I surrender. With everything else, if you Google something, you might be skeptical or maybe some fake news. But when you accept a guru, you should think about it, first of all. But when you accept it, you cannot be skeptical. That means you are a cheater. You have not verified whether the guru is a pure devotee and you have accepted him simply as a formality. And now you have doubts. So, such a pure devotee can explain all these concepts to us. So we understand. Otherwise, if you want to use your speculation or your imperfect senses, you commit blunders. The Sajiyas, they commit so many blunders. They think, oh, Krishna is an ordinary man, Radharani is an ordinary girl, and they enjoy some mundane sex feelings, so let's imitate them and go to hell. Srila Rupa Goswami warns us, unless the conclusion is backed up by Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatri Kaviri, by all the Vedic statements, Vedic scriptures, it is simply a disturbance in the social order. That is why Srila Prabhupada gave us this book, Caitanya Caritamrita, and all of his books, to delineate it very clearly what is bhakti and what is not. So these are the confidential reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that if we want to understand Lord Chaitanya, and we should first of all understand Radha and Krishna. Okay, so I'll stop here. Are there any questions? You take the mic.
So, Krishna cannot enjoy with anyone who's not equal to him. So that's how you were explaining Radharani, because she's Shakti Tattva. But Krishna does enjoy with his devotees now also. So, but they're not equal to Krishna.
But she's a devotee also. Radharani is a devotee.
But you were saying that because it was within the context that Radharani is Krishna.
Yeah.
So, but he said, the way I understood what you said is that only Krishna can enjoy with Radharani, or Krishna enjoys Radharani because she is basically he is.
Yeah.
She's equal in potencies.
Yeah.
But he also enjoys with Jiva.
Yeah, but you're not paying attention. Here, Prabhupada says, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Shri Krishna. So when Krishna enjoys with his devotees, why? Because Srimati Radharani, she is transmitting that service.
Even in the spiritual world.
Yes.
I don't have any question in this connection, but I guess until I remember it, go on Facebook.
Next. That's it.
That's all?
Okay.
Oh, does it take
Wait, there's a question from Krishna.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the other question I had just while we're waiting is that Radharani, is Krishna. She is simultaneously a separate person. Isn't that everyone? Isn't that all living entities of all different varieties of tattva? They're all Krishna. We're all Krishna, but simultaneously a separate personality. So why this? Because, like, for example,
She is the supreme.
But more specifically, like
The energies, the potencies, they expand from her. She is the original. Just like Krishna. You're also Krishna. You're also potent. But you're tiny potent. Krishna is the supreme potent. So the energies also, they're here. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Just like this is wood. So this is energy.
that's not potent.
No, that's the energy.
Yeah, it's not the potent.
Yeah.
The potency.
Yeah, this is the energy. So, Radharani is the supreme energy. This is just the emanation. That's the difference between the living entities. We're also emanations, but we're not the supreme energy.
Okay, but
We're the parts and parcels of Radharani.
okay. I guess
She is the complete.
okay. In Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada speaks about like one should not desire to actually be
Yeah,
an
associate, yeah.
an associate. So that's not necessarily Radharani. That can be even like a jiva, let's say, in a particular rasa. But Prabhupada says is Mayavad.
Yes, because they are in the pure position. They're in the pure transcendental position.
Okay.
See, right now, our original pure potency is covered by the material energy, the material body, and so they're not. They act as the part and parcels of Radharani. So if you want to imitate with your contaminated body, if you want to imitate them, then you become a Mayavadi.
Why Mayavadi?
No, because that's impersonal. There's no service.
But you want to imitate the
Prabhupada mentions there in that Nectar of Devotion that one should follow in the footsteps of these devotees. That is okay. You can follow in the footsteps, service. But never desire, I want to be gopi, I want to be a coward boy, I want to be this. You become a saji.
Because it's like enjoyment, rasa, that you want.
Yeah.
You want to be someone.
You want to be Krishna, because Krishna is also the energy.
This goes back to the original.
There are two energies, spiritual and material.
Yeah.
Right? So they are not covered. We're covered. If you want to mix material energy, just like when the Mayavadis, they say that Krishna comes here, when Krishna comes, he becomes covered by the material energy. It's the same principle.
So, but what if you want to become the spiritual energy?
You never become. Don't try to become.
Well,
You try to serve.
Conventionally speaking, we're now covered, so you can say that you want to become uncovered.
Yeah.
So, but that's also Mayavad?
Yes.
Then that doesn't make sense to me now.
Because there is selfishness, selfish purpose. I want to be.
So service is you're just concerned
Being.
with Krishna.
And he is impersonal as being. I want to be, just be. Devotees, they don't have any such ambition. They want to serve. Mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti raitu kitvahi. Birth after birth, I'm ready to serve in the material world. I don't care. As long as I can serve you, I don't mind. Even I take another material body. Devotees are not concerned for liberation or anything. You see? But they want to serve.
Okay, thank you. That's just a side point though, because I still don't quite understand the original thing I was asking about, which was that, because, okay, Radharani is like, if I'm getting the terminology right, she's Shakti Tattva, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like Vishnu Tattva, it's like even a maybe higher Tattva than Vishnu Tattva? Shakti
No.
Tattva? No? Okay.
No,
It's
she's
like
part and parcel of
feminine.
Vishnu Tattva, yeah.
Okay, so now this relates to the nectar of devotion thing because
Speak to the mic.
because Prabhupada says that somewhere else, I don't know whether it is, I think it's in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that the gopis are also direct expansions of Krishna. So when you want to be them, you want to be Krishna. But like when you desire to be like Nanda Maharaj or whatever, like okay,
It's the same
thing. But they're not. But that's not Krishna. Like everyone is Krishna, but they're.
But it is Krishna also.
What's the difference between being Krishna and a jiva and being Krishna and a Vishnu? Because everyone is Krishna potency.
Yeah.
But no one is Krishna at the same time, because Krishna is always Krishna. He's the topmost 100% Bhagavan. So, but everyone is Krishna to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So why are then specific entities?
Well, you don't have to become because you're already there.
No, but why is
That's not the process.
Why are specific entities considered more to be Krishna, even though no one is Krishna? Why?
Because they're liberated. They're not covered.
So even a jiva, who only has like such a percentage of the qualities, that's also desiring to be Krishna. What? Why a certain?
Yes. Liberated jiva.
Yeah.
Just like so many rascals, they want to imitate the guru.
Right.
This is why we discuss this. As soon as you want to imitate the guru, you become a Mayavadi. Impersonalist. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2:13.
Where?
Yes, I'll show you. Give me. Here. The individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna, and the supreme soul is the personality of God, Shri Krishna. They are not on the same level, as it will be apparent in the beginning of the 4th chapter. And you know from the 4th chapter, Krishna says that we've been here before. I spoke the Bhagavad Gita to the sun god. I remember, you do not remember. So even Arjuna is a Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated, so Prabhupada says, is still, he cannot be equal to Krishna. You know, he's covered by Yoga Maya. That is not Mahamaya, it's Yoga Maya. If Arjuna is on the same level with Krishna, and Krishna is not superior to Arjuna, then their relationship of instructor and instructed becomes meaningless. If both of them are deluded by the illusory energy Maya, then there is no need of one being the instructor and the other the instructed. Such instruction would be useless because in the clutches of Maya, no one can be authoritative instructor. You see? They're not on the same level.
Right.
Otherwise, the relationship becomes meaningless. There's no relationship. That's called Mayavad. If we're all one with Krishna, then there's no meaning to anything we do. Even there's no meaning to liberation. Liberation from what? Everything is one. Can you get liberated from oneness? Everything is oneness, so you achieve the same thing. Nothing makes sense. The Mayavad philosophy is actually very foolish. Extremely foolish. But they're very good at word jugglery and so on and so on. And because we have that conditioned nature to imitate God, that's why they become very successful in converting so many people to this philosophy. But otherwise, if you just think straight, it is very foolish. So by imitating the gopis or the liberated associates of Krishna, you become a Mayavadi.
So the point is,
In a conversation with Dr. Patel, Prabhupada makes this very, very same point. Because Dr. Patel, he says that the Guru is Guru by his soul, not his body. He makes a difference between his body and the soul. So that cannot be done because the Guru is liberated. He's just like Krishna. His body and soul are one and the same. Spiritual. So if you do that distinction, then Prabhupada says you are just like Dr. Radha Krishna, who says that, you should not surrender to Krishna, you should surrender to the Krishna within, to the soul of Krishna. He also makes the distinction. He thinks that Krishna has a material body. In other words, he is subjected by the modes of material nature. Okay? It's a little subtle point.
thank you.
Welcome.
There are questions now on YouTube by Peter Krishna.
Yes.
Please, how is it ever possible that there are Diksha Gurus in the organization? Were they not reading the same books? He's wondering, how is it possible that there are Diksha Gurus in some other organization that is not Bliss and ends in Con? Were they not reading the same books?
Well, Prabhupada defines initiation, Diksha, as the big, there are many definitions. It's not just one definition. It's a very deep process, initiation. So in one letter, Prabhupada says, initiation means beginning of spiritual realization. You might be reading the book, but you might not realize the content, the subject matter. Realization is done when we serve. We must also serve the Guru, not simply hear, but also render service. So if we don't serve and we read, we might not realize. Yes?
Craig is wondering, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
did the Maha Mantra exist anywhere in the Vedas before Lord Chaitanya told the importance of chanting it when he came 500 years ago?
Yes. What is it? Kali Santarana Upanishad. The Maha Mantra is stated there. And in Brihad Naradiya Purana also it is mentioned. Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Nasteva Ragatinanyata. That only by chanting the Lord's name you can reach perfection in the age of Kali. So there are Vedic statements. Lord Chaitanya did not manufacture this. He completely follows the Vedic conclusion. Very good question. Thank you.
Gabriela Mataji is thanking you for the inspiring class, and she has two questions.
Yes.
She's wondering, because you said that a spiritual master never dies and that we should always choose a bona fide spiritual master. If someone wants to be initiated by such a master, but the master has left his body, how can such a person become initiated?
Well, we must understand what is initiation. The initiation is not a formality. You think that initiation means, chanting the beads, the fire ceremony, giving some little instruction, giving the spiritual name. That's just a formality. that's not very important. Diksha, if you analyze, Srila Prabhupada, he breaks it down for us, consists of two words. D refers to Divyam Jnanam, transcendental knowledge. There's a whole chapter in the Bhagavad Gita called Transcendental Knowledge. This is all about Diksha. And Ksha is the short form for Kshapayati. And Kshapayati means expands. So Diksha Guru means someone who expands transcendental knowledge. He must expand. And there are also statements in this regard. Srila Prabhupada says that unless one gives some contribution, unless he gives some realization, some addition, he uses the word further lift in connection with Baladev Vedabhushana in a class. Srila Prabhupada uses the word further lift. Then he is not a Diksha Guru. He must expand upon the previous Acharya's explanations. But if Srila Prabhupada's books are complete and perfect and so many people are reading them, then how can you say that, no, I am now the new expander, the new Diksha Guru? How can you say this? Srila Prabhupada says in a class, he says, you may read the books of my Guru Maharaj. You may read. You may jump over. But you will not be able to understand anything. If you want to understand about Bhaktisiddhanta, you must understand it from me. See, the Diksha Guru is the current link. You cannot go and now read. You can read, okay, but you will not realize Diksha. That is why the current link is there. So if the current link is still present, if the knowledge is still studied by the devotees, so many books are being distributed in the streets by the devotees. How can you say that, oh, now I am the Guru? And just like imagine Prabhupada is giving a class and he's speaking, and then all of a sudden you say, now I speak, Prabhupada. Is that a very nice attitude of a disciple? So that's what Prabhupada said many times. In the presence of one spiritual master, one should not become a guru. So that doesn't mean physical presence, necessarily. Might be also. But if the knowledge is there, say kalanemada, yoga nashta parantapa. That's stated in the Bhagavad Gita. When the knowledge is lost, there arises the need for another acharya, diksha acharya. That is very simple. This formality, that can be done by anyone. Prabhupada had so many disciples doing the yagya in his physical presence. He was not there personally to give even the devotees would give the names. They would chant the beads. They would perform the yagya. This doesn't require someone who is a Mahabhagavat. It's ridiculous to claim that the priest is the guru. This is ridiculous. But so many devotees are confused by this. So, shortly to answer your question, we have to redefine what is actual initiation. When the knowledge is lost, when people can't understand Krishna consciousness, then the new successor comes, and again he initiates people to the disciplic conclusion. He initiates. That's why we say founder acharya. He's the founder. Prabhupada is the founder. Founder. It means he is the pioneer. He is the initiator of a new era. That's what it means. So these gurus who are giving initiation, they are they're simply, how do you say, formal gurus. They're not Diksha gurus. You can say formal Diksha gurus. You can say like that. They give formal Diksha. That's okay. That's also very nice. That should be continued. Just like we here also. We give formal Diksha to the devotees. That is very good. People, there should be some standard. The initiation should go on. Not that anyone and everyone can worship the deity and is eating meat or smoking ganja. That is very good. But the full meaning of Diksha is this. Look, this book. And this is just one. Giving the process. Okay? So, next.
There's two more questions.
Yes.
We are getting a little short on time, however, but she says the second question is more related to the second class from yesterday, but you made a reference to this aspect today as well, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead knows the past, present, and future.
Yeah.
So this question she gets many times from atheists, and she would like to know what is the right answer that she can smash them. The question is, if Krishna knows also the future, how this correlates with the idea that we have free will? Is there any actual free will?
Yeah, very good question. Very philosophical question. And Prabhupada answers this question in one of the conversations. He explains it like this. That you have a free will. So you can take pakora or you can take samosas. Okay, that is up to you. But Krishna, he knows what's going to happen if you take the samosa, and he knows what's going to happen if you take the pakora. See, Krishna is the knower of all the possible consequences of your decisions. But he never interferes with your freedom. So it's up to you. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he says that it is up to you, my disciples, whether the movement continues. I have given you everything, now it is up to you. The Prabhupada didn't say, oh, my movement will deviate after I depart. He never said. But he also never said that, oh, it will continue. It is guaranteed that it will continue. Because I'm perfect spiritual master, I give the perfect process. Oh, nobody will ever deviate. ISKCON will always remain how they say, ISKCON is my body. They quote Prabhupada, he said, it's my body. It depends on you. If you follow, then yes. Krishna consciousness movement is non-different from Prabhupada. If you deviate, then no. So Prabhupada gives instruction. If it deviates, you do like this. In Caitanya Caritamrita, he says, if there are many devotees, non-devotees, pseudo-devotees in this Krishna consciousness, you can keep direct company with the spiritual master. He's using these exact words. And if the movement does not deviate, then you follow. You follow the senior devotees, assist them, don't argue. Yeah. So he gives the two. Okay, so I hope this answered the question.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Finished?
Yes.
Karantarat Shri Chaitanya